Greetings and biggest love to the collective. Welcome to Witch Works Healing Ministry channel. I am your host, Julie Ann, quantum sound healer and applied shadow worker. I facilitate healing globally from illness, trauma, and depression, specializing in sexual assault, complex PTSD, and narcissist empath codependency dynamic. Email me to witchworkshealingministry@protonmail.com to inquire. I also invite you to visit my website, witchworkshealingministry.org. That's .org. Today's divination and healing facilitation for the divine collective of your zodiac placement includes, but is not limited to, your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and north node placements. I always find my Jupiter placement relevant. This healing work is for everyone, but especially those who want to do their shadow work in order to be a healthy partner, in order to magnetize a healthy partner, also to improve the quality of the relationship you may already be in, including but not limited to soulmates and twin flames. You may even have a kingdom spouse with whom you have a divine mission to best serve the collective together. You are in the right place. As you heal from codependency and dysfunctional cycles of behavior, you naturally magnetize your divine partner or a vibrationally harmonious mate with grace and ease, in perfect timing, in alignment with the highest and best interests of the collective. Welcome. I invite you to join me in bringing your awareness to your heart. Put one or both hands on your heart and breathe deeply into your heart. When you are present in your heart space, drop your awareness to your sacral chakra. For women, that's the womb. When you feel present in your sacral area, I invite you to put your roots down and drop a cord from your root chakra down to the center of Mother Gaia's heart and womb space. Women, feel your wombs fully connected to mothers. I acknowledge that in Allentown, Pennsylvania, I am occupying land stolen from the Lenni Lenape indigenous peoples of Turtle Island, and I offer Ho'oponopono prayer to the ancestors. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I acknowledge that I benefit from the genocide of original peoples and the suffering of generations in diaspora. I thank the soil microbes, the mycelium network, the creatures of the land, and all that grows in the soil. Thank you to the water, the consciousness of the earth, and to the creatures and plants of the waters. Thank you to the creatures of the air and the cloud sylphs of the sky. Thank you to the earth fae. Thank you to the sourced beings protecting the true source light circle, which I hereby decree around this facilitation, including Sophia, the first emanation from source, Yeshua the Christ, Mother Mary, and Mary Magdalene, the 13th disciple, and my own sovereign sourced self. I'm so grateful and thankful. I'm so thankful and grateful. This is an energy work facilitation called applied shadow work, and there is a tendency for people who are exposed to the high vibrational field my chanting co-creates to yawn as a reflex, or also to experience eye watering. If you have those experiences, this is totally intended. I encourage everyone to simulate a yawn, to go through the motions of yawning until you actually yawn, and to continue to exercise this yawning release while I am doing this work. Let us begin. Greetings, Divine Pisces Collective. I'm going to do a little clearing on the Mother Peace deck with acknowledgement of and gratitude to Karen Fogel and Vicki Noble, Mother Peace creators. Clear, clear, clear. To the best of my awareness, I don't believe that I have a single drop of Pisces in my Western or Vedic chart, so I must have hit that in some other lifetimes. And it's also probably why at periods in my life I've had like a lot of attraction to Pisces people, because they have an energy that I don't possess in this life. Although, I mean, anybody can cultivate. I mean, I'm highly spiritual. So anyone can cultivate any energy, whether or not you're born with it, but I just think that's interesting. All right, make sure to simulate a yawn until you yawn naturally. Eventually, if you do it enough, you will basically install a kind of trauma offloading yawning reflex in your body that you can call upon any time, which is really quite useful. Because a lot of people aren't embodied enough to be aware of all their negative emotions when they experience them, so they'll like ignore them and then they'll store them in their cells. But not me. I've yawned so many times that when any potentially, stressful or triggering situation comes up for me, I'll literally yawn it off on the spot. So not only am I offloading density every single day by yawning with my reflex throughout the day, I literally never, ever, ever store negative emotions. I'm present in my body and I feel them. I experience them and then I yawn them off like right away. So that's a really awesome place to be. If anybody understands the significance of that, like, you will literally book a session with me right away. Anyway, so Holy Spirit, please give me guidance for Divine Pisces Collective. We will be looking at the top 3 cards and the bottom of the deck. I'm chanting a version of Ho'oponopono prayer with acknowledgement of and gratitude to Polynesian culture. Here we go. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. Okie dokie. All right, at the bottom of the deck. Oh my goodness gracious, how cool. We have the Four of Wands. This is a card of celebration. This is a card of laying a foundation for a relationship, for a home. It's very stable energy. In the imagery here for Mother Peace, it's young women celebrating the rite of passage of their first menstruation. If only we celebrated young women who reach that stage in our culture today, that would be great. Okay, well, that's a great energy to be in, Divine Pisces Collective. Celebration and like a stable foundation. That's pretty great. Yeah, it's like a stable foundation for a home or a relationship. Gotta love it. Okay, so the first card. Oh, another nice energy. All right, so Daughter of Cups. Cups is water element, and it's feelings. So the Daughter of Cups in traditional tarot is the Page of Cups. The imagery of the Page of Cups is like a young preteen or possibly young teenage boy looking in a cup and talking to a fish that's in the cup. And it's basically an energy of following your bliss. The Daughter of Cups, she's full of joy. She's enjoying her embodiment. She's enjoying, the pleasures of just being happy in nature. It's a really beautiful energy. So that's great. That's great. And Pisces is a water sign, obviously. So the water element is kind of a Piscean energy. Oh my goodness gracious. The Lovers. This is a major arcana. Now the Lovers is Gemini energy. All right, now if you've ever watched tarot love readings, readers will say all kinds of kind of exaggerated, silly things about, oh, this is your perfect soulmate. Oh, this is someone with whom you fit together just perfectly. No, all right? The lovers in traditional tarot used to be called the choice, all right? And the choice is about polarization. And polarization is about magnetism. More specific, it's about karmic electromagnetism or karmic electromagnetic charges, all right? It's about going after your heart's desire. Now, many times in my life, when I was in low vibrational negative karmic cycles, I would follow my heart's desires, and I didn't get joy. I didn't get a perfect match. What I got was a hellish lesson. That's what I got. All right, so sometimes you can be highly polarized to a person, place, or thing, and if you're in low vibrational negative karmic cycles, you're gonna get a lesson. You're not gonna get your perfect match or your soulmate. All right, so this is why we do our applied shadow work, to offload the density of negative karmic electromagnetic charges. All right, so that I've finally healed enough. I have been doing this work of applied shadow work and offloading my density and clearing out all my negative karmic electromagnetic charges since 2020. So now when I'm polarized to something, it's literally and actually a person, place, or thing that's good for me, not a person, place, or thing that's going to be another painful lesson for me. Now that I'm healed, when I'm polarized to someone or something, I know it's actually right for me. But you've got to be in, like, all positive cycles in your life for that to be true. So don't listen to these tarot love readers when they're like, oh, it's your perfect person. Only if you've done the majority of your shadow work. Only if you've broken the cycles of previous karmic relationships and events. I mean, wow. I mean, not everybody understands shadow, but that's why I'm a professional shadow worker. And I've lived it from experience, So you can trust me. Believe me, I am an expert in shadow work, and I am an expert in transmuting and offloading negative karmic electromagnetic charges from a lifetime of experience. Okay, so the Lover's card means that Divine Pisces Collective is polarized to a person, place, or thing. They're following their heart's desire. So depending on how much shadow work you've done, this will be a more good or less positive experience, right? And then we'll have a matching shadow card for that, which is why we do this work. All right. But, I mean, overall, the Lovers is not a bad energy. It just depends on where you are in your karmic cycles. And another major arcana, amazing. All right, so the Hierophant, another card that's so idealized among a lot of traditional tarot readers. But Mother Peace comes from a goddessy feminist perspective. Mother Peace recognizes that historically the Hierophant has stolen his power from the original priestesses. Because all the women are kneeling around him. He represents institutional power. It says behind the Hierophant, behind the stained glass, behind the armed guard, and behind the wall is nature, which is the direct source of our power. So the women should be out in nature where they would be embodied in their power naturally. The women don't have to kneel in front of the damn Hierophant, who really, when they murdered the priestesses in ancient cultures and replaced, the priestesshood with hierarchy, that basically Hierophants, priests, stole their power from whom it originally belonged to, priestesses. And in the Mother Peace image, it says he's actually wearing false breasts. All right, and if that isn't a metaphor for a certain phenomenon in our culture, I don't know what is. Men have been stealing the power that women naturally possess for over 5,000 years, and nothing new is under the sun. Believe me, y'all. They're just more envious fakes who want the power that women naturally possess, and they think that they can steal it by like mimicking our body parts, which is like absolutely disgusting. All right. Anyway, so I mean, the Hierophant is supposed to be a spiritual teacher. He to Mother Peace, you know, he really represents institutional corruption. I mean, the Hierophant, if you look at the priesthood of the Catholic Church is the largest, most corrupt political organization probably in history. And it's run by Satanists. And, you know, the priests have been proven, you know, systemically to be pedophiles. So what does that say about the Hierophant? The Hierophant stole his power, and he's a big effing fake, and he represents corruption and hierarchical power, which is unnecessary because it basically steals our natural birthright of our own divinity and cosmic sovereignty from us. Women don't need to be kneeling in front of the Hierophant. Women need to be owning their own priestesshood, basically. All right, so the Hierophant in the right direction, but it also means like commitment, or, you know, dealing with the courts, dealing with some kind of institutional hierarchical authority is what it means. But with an eye on knowing that, like, generally, that institutional hierarchical authority is corrupt AF, if you know what I mean. All right, so the Hierophant right, we'll see what Mother Peace says about that. Straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, thanks for your patience. So in the right position, it says the Hierophant, which is Divine Pisces Collective, is actively challenging what they no longer believe. And that's good energy, okay? Yay. Go Divine Pisces Collective, actively challenging the bullshit that they no longer believe. Yeah, because we've all been socially conditioned to believe a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, if you're doing your shadow work and becoming more mature and more discerning, you will be, you know, as you go through life, questioning things that you no longer believe and discarding, you know, bad programming that we've been socialized into. Okay, so Divine Pisces Collective is celebrating or laying a foundation for a home or a relationship. Divine Pisces Collective is celebrating their embodiment and the joys of nature, following their bliss, and also intuitive. Divine Pisces Collective is polarized to their heart's desire, and we're hoping that goes well, all right? And Divine Pisces Collective is challenging what they no longer believe. I know someone who has Venus in Pisces, and I hope that these things are all true for him. Okay, so let me grab my next deck. This deck is called Archetype Cards by Carolyn Mace, MYSS. Within the context of my applied shadow work, quantum sound healing, facilitations, and protocol, I refer to this as my shadow deck because I use it to generate what I call a shadow signature. All right, a shadow signature is 74 cards. Give me a second here. Clear, clear, clear. 74 cards, and each card represents a type of woundedness, and the 74 cards are in divine order. So what this process has done is introduced divine guidance into therapy through applied Jungian psychology, because Jungian psychology has to do with archetypes, and these are archetype cards. So the top card is the most superficial layer of wounding, and then all these layers of wounding are in order down to the root, the most subconscious, the deepest one. All right, So picture a shadow signature as a key to unlocking, your body's ability to offload trauma at an extremely accelerated and rapid pace, like a key so long that it has 74 protrusions. Like, imagine that. All right, so a 74 card shadow signature yields, within the context of my practice, a quantum healing soundtrack, which is 4 hours and 45 minutes long. All right. And think of that as a custom, bespoke, passive, done for you, set it and forget it, push and play trauma offloading tool. All right. So picture this. Say you have a tablet, or some kind of device, an iPad or, a computer. The smaller the better, because what you're going to want to do is, well, you definitely want to listen to the Quantum Healing soundtrack at least once. It doesn't have to be all at once, because it is almost 5 hours long. A prime time to listen to it is while you're falling asleep, but you can take it with you anywhere you go and listen to it anytime. I'm just telling you that because it's quantum, what you can do is plug in your device and play the track on loop, on repeat, 24/7 for 30 days, which will provide you with the equivalent of over 500 hours of conventional therapy. And so whether you're in the kitchen preparing food, or you're, in the living room Netflixing, or you're out of the house, like running errands, or you're at work, because the track is quantum, as long as the soundtrack is hitting the air, as long as the sound waves are hitting the air, your body will be offloading density, which is the heaviness that we all recognize, that we feel when we have wounding from the past that we haven't properly processed and offloaded. We're literally carrying it around with us. It's stored cellular trauma, and also it's stored genetic trauma from the trauma of our ancestors is stored in our genes, and the trauma of the life that we're living now is stored in our cells. All right, so I have offloaded so much cellular trauma that I am offloading genetic DNA trauma right now. So I've been doing this work since 2020, and I recovered completely from 23 years of complex PTSD. So bring me your deepest, darkest trauma. You don't even have to tell me what it is, because Spirit literally knows. That's the great part of introducing divination into trauma therapy, is Spirit knows our wounding better than we do, since it's subconscious, and better than any conventional therapist ever could. Also, oh yeah, bring me your heartbreak. Bring me your cycles of codependency and dysfunction. And certainly bring me any, your most concerning and most stubborn health issue, or, illness or bodily dis-ease. Because as we should all know by now, all forms of illness and bodily dis-ease are rooted directly in stored trauma, cellular and genetic. All right. So, this track will help your depression, or it'll get you better, from a sickness, and it'll clear any bad energies out of your house. It literally gets rid of all of that stuff. So these healing videos that I make, they're like framed as like improving your relationships, but they're really for all that stuff. They're for all those issues, not just improving relationships. So, I've been telling people to email me, because I am accepting bookings for facilitations and the creation of soundtracks, to witchworkshealingministry@protonmail.com. But today was Mercury Kazemi, and my psychic interload from Spirit is that my email may be being tampered with. And so I literally put up a post on YouTube under the community tab, and I left my phone number there. because if anybody has emailed me for facilitation and I have not responded, it's because my email is being tampered with. And I do have gang stalkers who have been fucking with me for a long, long time. I thought that there was no way that they could mess with proton mail because that's supposed to be secure mail, but Spirit told me very clearly today that the chances that they have been blocking certain emails of mine are very, very high, which would explain why I have like literally 0 facilitations. So I guess you can try the email if I don't get it. I did put my phone number up. I mean, if you call, people, if I don't know, who's calling, I'll let it go to voicemail and I'll listen to the voicemail. Otherwise, just text me. So that's the instructions for now, is to text me if you want a facilitation. I did put up a post on my community tab on my YouTube channel. All right, so that should be easy enough to find. All right, so, yeah, I think I said everything I was supposed to say. All right, so now I'm going to get a shadow signature for Divine Pisces Collective. Holy Spirit, please give me the shadow signature in such a way that the top 3 cards and the bottom of the deck will illuminate the Mother Piece cards that we have already out on the table. Thank you. Yeah, it's really not far-fetched with the technology that's available now. People who want to F with you online will find a way to do it. And I happen to have beef with someone from high school who grew up to be the co-creator of one of the most successful video game franchises in history, and he is a fucking millionaire. And so if he still has beef with me and wanted to F with me, I have no doubt that he has, he could do his own hacking or has access to an entire army of hackers that would be more than happy to fuck with me for the right price. So anyway, moving on. Divine Pisces Collective. Make sure to yawn with me if you're really ambitious. Feel free to chant Ho'oponopono prayer, because I've done that hundreds of thousands of times, and now my light body is so coherent and activated that I have a halo, and you can have one too. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. Oops. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. It's so humid in here, the cards will barely shuffle. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I am grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have Lover. Okay, so there's a celebration, there's a foundation. So what is the woundedness that would keep us from celebrating, from having a solid foundation to a relationship or a home? Is Lover shadow, Spirit says. So the light attribute of Lover, that's interesting. It would have been really interesting if Lover had come up under the Lover's card. Anyway, I'll still take it. Alright, so the light attribute of Lover is great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. A light quality that you certainly need to celebrate, or certainly need to have a solid foundation to, a home or a relationship. So the shadow attribute is divine Pisces collective have been hurt. Oh, and their ancestors have been hurt by individuals in their lives, an institutional non-planetary agent, in power and in history, who had an obsessive passion that harmed others or a self-destructive devotion, both of which are codependent. You know, like if you listen to the lyrics of popular songs, they're literally always trying to call like dysfunctional, codependent, gross, and abusive relationships, they call them love because they want us to think that love hurts. No, love doesn't hurt. Codependency fucking hurts. And I'm over people using the word love when they really mean obsession, self-destructive devotion, lacking boundaries, and total freaking codependence. Like, that's not love. Love doesn't hurt. Attachment hurts. Codependency hurts. Love doesn't hurt. So I hate that programming. I literally hate that programming. Even the programming of falling in love. Yeah, if you're falling in love, it's because you're in negative karmic magnetism. If you're in positive karmic magnetism, you rise in love. I will never fall in love again. I only rise in love because I am so far beyond attachment and codependency, it's not even funny. And whoever I love will literally rise with me. That's it. All right? Anyway, I witnessed this wounding of lover shadow for Divine Pisces Collective and their lineages with compassion and respect. Okay, back to the top of the deck. Love hurts. Oh. Sorry, I just find that so disturbing. I'm so over bad programming, yo. That's why I do what I do. Applied shadow work, I'm basically a professional deprogrammer. I deprogram people from bad, conditioning and replace it with good conditioning. I also call what I do interdimensional risk reduction and realignment, because applied shadow work also co-creates very, very specific success timelines if you've done enough shadow work. All right. Anyway, here we go. The Daughter of Cups. She's following her bliss. She's happy to be in her body. She's happy in nature. All right. And what would keep her out of this energy? What would keep her out of this energy is victim shadow. So the light attribute of victim is it prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or from victimizing others. And it's actually true that if you do enough applied shadow work and clear out enough victim shadow, the density associated with victim shadow, and do any soul retrieval work necessary, because sometimes when we're victimized, it's so traumatizing that a piece of our soul literally runs away and you have to call it back home. Like, I've done a lot of soul retrieval work, but most people need to do a lot of applied shadow work before they start calling back pieces of their soul, because first you have to clear your body of the trauma and density that made the piece of soul run away. Then when you've cleared it out, then you can do the soul retrieval work. All right. So if you clear out enough density associated with victim shadow, you will literally no longer be a vibrational match for like random acts of violence. All right. I talked about this in the last video for Aquarius. That some people are like, oh, but are you victim blaming victims of, random acts of violence? Well, no, it's not their fault that they were, a victim of a supposedly random act of violence, but it's not actually random. It means that their body was carrying so much woundedness that negative karmic electromagnetism made them a vibrational match for that supposed random violence. And I can talk about this not blithely, because I had a lot of very violent, horrific things done to me. All right. And so I am not a victim blamer. But if you do enough applied shadow work and remove the density from your body that makes you a vibrational match, you know, for violence, then you will literally, it will prevent you from ever being victimized or from victimizing others. Like, the more you do your applied shadow work on victim shadow, you will not be a match for victimhood anymore. Like, people will not victimize you anymore. I'm just saying. All right, so the shadow attribute of victim, I can tell you from experience, I cannot emphasize that enough. It's so true. All right, so the shadow attribute is divine Pisces collective. And our ancestor, and your ancestors, not mine, sorry, have been hurt by individuals in your life, an institutional and non-planetary agent in power and history, who played the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, who demonstrated an inability to maintain personal boundaries. Because if you have firm boundaries, it will keep you out of victimhood to a very, very high degree. All right? Lack of boundaries is like the #1 factor in victimization. When I realized that I was the co-creator of all the things that had ever happened to me, and I decided that I would be 100% responsible for every single thing that came into my life, no matter how physically, you know, intransigent it seemed, no matter how unfair it seemed, because I don't think in terms of problems and solutions anymore. There are no problems. There are only issues, and for every issue, there is available 5D shift that I can co-create in partnership with Spirit. So I'm no longer in some helpless place where things just happen to me. No matter what happens to me, I can immediately work with Spirit to shift it in my favor. And when I realized that, I was done with being in victimhood, babe. Believe me. So, victim shadow. I witnessed this wounding for divine Pisces collective and their lineages with compassion and respect. Victim shadow. Divine Pisces collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. Rainbow! I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiven. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiven. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiven. Rainbows! I command and demand any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky foreign energy entanglements associated with victim shadow to quantumly disentangle from divine Pisces collective's infinite field. Cleared and canceled across all lifetime, timeline, and dimension. Because I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. And by my nature with my rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky foreign energy entanglements associated with victim shadow, and I hereby quantumly disentangle any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky foreign energy entanglement associated with victim shadow. And I hereby, right, did I say that? Quantumly disentangle any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky foreign energy entanglement associated with victim shadow from divine Pisces collective's infinite field. Cleared and cancel across all lifetime, timeline, and dimension, into a boundary of light back to source. To be received, neutralized, transmuted, upcycled, returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Rainbows. Okay. Alright, the next one. What? Okay, so lover is matched with gambler. Here we go. Alright, so when we are polarized to our heart's desire, a person, place, or thing, The type of woundedness that's going to determine for Divine Pisces Collective whether that turns out well for us or not is Gambler Shadow, Spirit says. So the light attribute of Gambler is the willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. All right? And I have put this into practice, I don't know for how many years now. Like, I don't make any wounded egoic decisions. Before I buy a single thing, every single decision that I make, I grab my pendulum and I ask Spirit. All right? And Spirit is me. I mean, because I'm a fractal of Source. So it's just basically my wounded ego is consulting my higher self, my cosmic sovereign me, my sourced self. So someone close to me the other day tried to say that I was like giving up my right to make decisions, and I'm like, no, I'm just literally not making decisions with my wounded ego. I'm making decisions from my sourced self. Anyway, so the shadow attribute is, if we are polarized to our heart's desire and it's really something that's happening because of negative karmic electromagnetism, it's because Divine Pisces Collective and your ancestors have been hurt by individuals in your lives, institutional and off-planetary agents in power and history, who relied on luck rather than hard work. And you know, I mean, you can think of like people who are in the casino or whatever, but I don't even think of that. I think of like rich people who play the stock market, basically, because if all they do is play the stock market, then they're not really producing anything of value. They're just literally gambling on the value that others are producing by the sweat of their brow. So, you know, the people who are losing money in the casinos are just like poor suckers being gamed by the rich people who run and own the casinos. Anyway, so I think of rich people playing the stock market would rather rely on luck rather than actually producing any value in the world, like the workers of the world. Okay, anyway, so Gambler Shadow. I witnessed this wounding of Gambler Shadow for Divine Pisces Collective and their lineages with compassion and respect. Gambler Shadow. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Rainbow. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. Rainbows. I am the violet flame of transformation ever given. I am the violet flame of transformation ever given. I am the violet flame of transformation unforgiven. Rainbows. I command and demand any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky, foreign energy entanglements associated with Gambler Shadow to quantumly disentangle from Divine Pisces Collective's infinite field, cleared and canceled across all lifetime, timeline, and dimensions, because I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. And by my nature with my rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky, foreign energy entanglement associated with Gambler Shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky, foreign energy entanglement associated with Gambler Shadow From Divine Pisces Collective's infinite field. Cleared and canceled across all lifetime. Timeline. And dimension. Into a boundary of light back to source to be received, neutralized, transmuted, upcycled, returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Rainbows. Okay. Scribe. Okay. So, and who were the scribes in history? The monks, the hierophants, all right? And what did they do? They wrote women out of history, yo. I mean, Carolyn Mace doesn't... Actually, she depicts the scribe as a woman, which is effing hilarious. Because think of the word history. It's his story. Because men wrote history, and they wrote women out of it. Literally on purpose. They wrote many, many lies that erased women and their power and their contributions from history. So Carolyn doesn't even point out like the massive underpinning of misogyny that is inherent in scribe shadow, but I see it. So the light attribute of scribe is preserving knowledge and information faithfully. Well, guess who didn't do that? The damn hierophants. They didn't do that. They were lying. All right. So the shadow attribute. Well, basically this says Divine Pisces Collective is challenging what they no longer believe. So what are the false things that they believed? They were the lies of history. How about that? I love how these cards go together. This is come through, Spirit. Testify. Thank you, Spirit. This is amazing. The lies of history were scribed by a bunch of sexist, misogynist hierophants. And that is the damn truth. All right. So, Divine Pisces Collective and your ancestors have been hurt by individuals in your life, an institutional and off-planetary agent in power and in history who altered facts or plagiarized the work of others. Yeah, the other thing is like, how many things have come to light in modern times where men literally took credit for women's theses, women's accomplishments, women's discoveries? Like, how many like men of science had women working for them who literally made the breakthrough, and then the man got the Nobel Prize? That shit is true, all right? So this plagiarizing the work of others, men have stolen credit for the work of women in history so much. And they were institutional authorities, sexist, misogynist institutional authorities. Wow, this is deep. Okay, I witness this wounding of scribe shadow for Divine Pisces Collective and your lineages with compassion and respect. Scribe shadow. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Divine Pisces Collective. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm grateful for this experience. Rainbows. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. Rainbows! I am the violet flame of transformation I were given. I am the violet flame of transformation I were given. I am the violet flame of transformation I were given. Rainbows! I command and demand any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky, foreign energy entanglement associated with scribe shadow to quantumly disentangle from Divine Pisces Collective's infinite field, cleared and canceled across all lifetime, timeline, and dimension, because I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. I am the emerald flame of love and transmutation. And by my nature with my rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky, foreign energy entanglement associated with scribe shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle any and all remaining lying, hiding, tricky, sticky, foreign energy entanglement associated with scribe shadow from Divine Pisces Collective's infinite field, cleared and canceled across all lifetime, timeline, and dimension, into a boundary of light back to source to be received, neutralized, transmuted, upcycled, returned to love. So mote to be, and so it is. Rainbows. Okay. Anywhere that Divine Pisces Collective and myself, because even though I am not a member of Divine Pisces Collective, every time I do this work, I offload as well. So, like, doing this work never, ever, ever drains me. It only makes me lighter as well. I get healed every single time I do this work for others, and I heal the collective. That's what I call a win-win situation. So anywhere that Divine Pisces Collective and myself have offloaded the density that is unprocessed emotion, that is stored cellular trauma and genetic trauma, that is spiritual parasites that will literally drain you and keep you in low vibrational cycles associated with this entire shadow signature, including but not limited to lover, victim, gambler, and scribe shadows. We have co-created subatomic nooks and crannies of void. Into these void spaces, I intentionally and completely, through the grace of Christ, refill us each with the brightest, whitest, true source healing light, and the most golden liquid sparkling, true source love light, and with the emerald flame of love and transmutation. And I seal in our subtle etheric fields, intentionally and completely, with the brightest, whitest, true source healing light, and the most golden liquid sparkling, true source love light, and with the emerald flame of love and transmutation. And I do this from crown to soul, from back to front, from side to side, inside and outside, and all around us. And may our personal electromagnetic, subtle etheric, and infinite causal field vibrate and resonate with increased coherence and integrity. So mote it be, and so it is. Okay, thank you, Divine Pisces Collective, for receiving my healing offering, not only to y'all, but also to the entire collective, because anywhere that you and I have become lighter from offloading density, we have lifted the entire collective, which brings me to why it is in your own personal, specific, enlightened, highest, and best self-interest that my work get out to more people through being blessed by the YouTube algorithm gods. Because if every single person cleaned up their own mess, did their own applied shadow work, and stopped re-perpetrating their subconscious wounding onto the other people themselves and the other people around them, we would be living in utopia. So please help me help you help the collective. Leave a comment. Let me know if you had any offloading experiences of yawning or eye-watering. Please, if you came this far, there must have been some value. Give this video a like. Please consider sharing this video with someone you care about who has a Pisces placement, or recommending to them one of my marvelous playlists for all of the zodiac placements. Feel free to take advantage of them. And also, please subscribe to my channel. It is the fastest way and the best way to get this content out to the most people. So stay blessed, collective. Keep yawning, and come back to my channel soon.